These are the paintings that I do on my recent trip to Gaspésie, specifically to a village, or most of them were done in this village called Percé. It's quite a spectacular spot, but what's really tricky is the weather. So each of these paintings has a little story that I would like to share. Now, I started with this iconic view of the Percé Rock, and the biggest challenge of painting this rock was that within literally minutes, it would go from a beautiful sunny day to a spot that was completely blocked with a fog. So I had to really paint fast in order to be able to capture most of the scenery, and to make sure that I get the most amount of detail. I started painting the rock, completed this land here. You can see there's a little cross here. These tiny pieces of architecture, if you can call it that. And so what was really interesting is that while the blue appears quite cold for summer, but you know, this is the water there. Although we're end of June, but the water there was way too cold to swim, and it literally the colors of the water really appeared quite cold. So I shared a little reel on my Instagram where you can really see the beginning of the painting and how sunny the weather was at the beginning, and then towards the end it got completely foggy, and towards the end you just don't see the rock anymore. So I had to make sure to capture the rock as fast as I could, and then just finished the water as time went on, and as I was approaching towards the end of the water. And so my trip was 4 days, so it was a very short trip, but my whole goal was to go to Percé and stay there for 4 days, and then paint as much as I could. But the fog really made it very challenging. So what I discovered is that simply by crossing the mountain, you could get a beautiful sunny day. So the fog literally stayed in one specific spot. So the Percé Rock would be literally behind this mountain, and the white thing you see here is the fog going over the village. So this spot is called Pointe-d'Aurore, or Pic de l'Aurore, or like a Aurora Peak. So it's a beautiful spot. It's one of those viewpoints that you can see the view of the water. You get beautiful mountains. So I've set up there. I was able to paint, obviously, endless amounts of bugs that would always land on the paintings, but it was better than seeing absolutely nothing. So then, following that, I was still hopeful to paint in Percé, but I mean, the whole village was covered in fog, so I drove a little bit further, and I painted, this was the day 2, and I painted this spot. It's called Rivière Murphy, or Murphy River. And it's quite a great spot, actually. There are lots of birds here, and on the, like, behind me where I was sitting, there was a beach. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to paint both scenes, so this was a really cool spot, a nice getaway from the foggy Percé. So then the following day, this is day 3, the fog was relentless, so I had to change my plan, and I drove about an hour and a half, so on the opposite side of Gaspé, so the northern side of Gaspesie rather. And I always wanted to paint this lighthouse. It's called Pointe-d'Aurore. It's got a fascinating history, but other than the fascinating history, it's got very, very cool design to it. So it's got the older part, which is kind of this wooden house, and this newer reconstruction. And so I thought it would be really, really cool to spend some time painting there. Now, this lighthouse specifically, it's so interesting because on the side where Percé is, it was windy. It was really brutal to just set up there and paint. But this lighthouse was so cool. The weather was really, pleasant. It was nice and warm. But what I realized with plein air painting is you got to pick, either you get the wind and the cold or you get the bugs. So here, I mean, I really had to cover myself with the bug spray because the bugs were relentless, but it was absolutely worth it. It was absolutely worth it. So this was a painting done on location, and it was a great fun to paint the lighthouse. I realized how much I really enjoy painting these lighthouses, because they all have these unique pieces of elements of architecture in them. So here it is. And so now on the day 4, finally the fog cleared out, and I was able to go back to Percé and paint one of the views from of the village. So I'll just show you what's really cool is that you see there's a road there that leads into this kind of a peak here. So this is, you basically see the same point but from the opposite side. So this is kind of like the opposite side from here, which is really cool. So and this was really fun. I sat in this kind of it's sort of a parking spot to go up. Here we can actually link a lot of stuff. So the spot where I'm painting here is a spot from which you can go up on this kind of point to have a closer look at the rock. But this was really cool. I mean, Percé is so challenging because it was super windy, and the weather, although there was still some fog, but not as much, and the weather would change drastically. It would go from cloudy to sunny, and we're talking all of that within minutes. So it's a very unstable spot to paint, but absolutely spectacular. You have the water, you have the mountains, you have the hills, the rocks. Driving around is really beautiful too, because as you climb up the road, it's always like a big surprise of what's coming next, and you get this gorgeous view over the mountains. So, and then once that painting was complete, it was my last day, and so I said to myself, I have to pull off the last small painting. So it's basically, this is a view from the beach in Percé Rock, and it's like if I was set up somewhere around here and kind of looking sideways towards this Percé Rock. So this was kind of one of those just before the sun sets, and the water was beautiful, and there was absolutely no one on the beach, and it was just so nice and peaceful. And I don't know if you can see, but these brush strokes are very kind of simple and minimal, but I try to really kind of match the colors of what I saw. And of course the colors, they change minute by minute. So these were different times of the evening as I would capture the colors of the water, the colors of the sky would change. So I changed it up a couple of times, but I tried to keep it kind of harmonious and work together. But it was really cool. It's one of those minimum amount of color. It's quite a bit of gray. So yeah, very, very minimal composition. So here's the whole series of 4 days of work, and with lots of wind, lots of bugs. So I just launched a brand new store, and you can access it through my official website, kasyan.com, or through the links in the bio in my Instagram or TikTok. So these are small works, and they're quite affordable. So if anyone is interested, you can check out my store and get these paintings for yourself. All right, I hope you enjoyed this little tour.